Hello there and warm welcome to Superscreen's News at 6, broadcasting to you live from Lagos, Southwest Nigeria. I am Adinke Oye Ajiboye. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has ordered 3 persons who stood shorties for the leader of the indigenous people Biafra, Ipop Nnamdi Kanu, to within 2 months pay the sum of 100 million naira each into the court's account for their inability to produce the missing Biafran activist in court. Justice Bintan Yako gave the order today in a ruling in which she amended the conditions of the bail she had in April 2017 granted Kanu. The 3 shorties who guaranteed his bail had been made to sign a bail bond of 100 million naira each, which was backed by their landed assets whose documents were deposited in court. But with the amendment ordered by the court, they are now required to deposit cash of 100 million naira in court account. The judge reiterated that the order directing the shorties to pay the money was an order of interim forfeiture. You will recall that Kanu is being prosecuted before the court on charges of treasonable felony following his disappearance after a military invasion of his home in Afara Uku Umakia in Abia State on September 14, 2017. Now, as Nigeria joins the international community to observe a World Diabetes Day, a World Health Organization (WHO) has promised to support the federal government in the prevention, control of diabetes and other non-communicable diseases in the country. A regional director for Africa, Matshi Disco Moeti, gave this assurance during a media briefing on World Diabetes Day in Abuja. The regional director, who was represented by Clement Peter, said WHO in the Africa region has made the fight against diabetes and non-communicable diseases priority. According to him, creation of public education and awareness campaign to empower individuals and families with information and education on how to prevent diabetes should be paramount at all levels.
Governments should accelerate access to such services for everyone through people-centered primary health care and universal health coverage. WHO will continue to support governments to improve the prevention and control of diabetes and other non-communicable diseases. I urge everyone to eat healthy, be physically active, and avoid excessive weight gain.
And now moving on, governors under the auspices of the Nigeria Governors Forum, NGF, have called for an emergency meeting where the new minimum wage is expected to be deliberated in Abuja tonight. It is expected that the meeting, which will be presided over by Zamfara State Governor Abdulaziz Yari, will take a definite stand on the amount the governors will be able to pay as minimum wage to avert a strike by the organized labor. And in a related development, labor leaders have given December as deadline for the full implementation of the 30,000 naira new minimum wage. A president of Trade Union Congress TUC, Boboy Bala Kegama, and the Secretary General of the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, ASCSN, Bashir Lawal, gave the warning at the National Executive Council NEC meeting of the ASCSN in Abuja. The union said workers patiently await President Muhammadu Buhari to forward an executive bill on the minimum wage to the National Assembly for passage into law. They also warned that any reduction in the 30,000 naira agreed by the tripartite committee on the national minimum wage as contained in the report to President Muhammadu Buhari or any further delay in its passage could have negative consequences. And now the House of Representatives has called on the Inspector General of Police, IGP Ibrahim Idris, to direct the Commissioner of Police in Adamawa State to intensify police patrol in Ferrari local government area in order to curb kidnapping in the state. The lower chambers urged chairman of the local government areas to complement efforts of the police and appeal to traditional rulers and other residents to support the police with unnecessary information. The Green Chamber's resolution was sequel to a motion sponsored by Sadiq Ibrahim from Adamawa State at today's plenary.
Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, we should be worried that this negative phenomena is growing rapidly without any check due to the absence of police or other security agencies in the affected areas, making the areas vulnerable to continuous attacks. We should also be worried that if the perpetrators of these crimes are not urgently brought to book, economic activities in these communities and by extension, Adamawa State, which is predominantly agrarian, will be grounded.
To this end, the lower chamber mandated its Committee on Police Affairs and Interior to ensure compliance and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Still staying with the House of Representatives, the House of Representatives has adjourned a plenary over defective microphone system. The adjournment comes 24 hours after the House adjourned a plenary on Tuesday for the same reason. Explaining the need for the adjournment, Speaker of the House, Yakubu Dogara, said the problem has not been fixed because it can only be done by the manufacturers.
Mistakes, the microphones are not working, and that is because of a power surge that was experienced in the chambers that burned down some panels that are not available in the market. You cannot buy them off shelf. We have to go to the manufacturers. So we are unapologetic about that. But what we can do is for us to continue to work as a parliament. So we're suspending plenary for tomorrow to enable the management team and a team of technicians to improvise. That's against Tuesday next week, while we wait for the delivery of the panels from the manufacturers of this public address system. So that is the truth. We are not going on recess, but we're merely suspending plenary.
Dogara, however, said the House will take items on the order that do not require debate before it adjourns till next week, Tuesday. And now, talking political matters, over 3,000 members of the All Progressives Congress APC in 2 major senatorial districts in Edo State have defected to the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Speaking with Superscreen, the defectors cited non-existing internal democracy and imposition within the party structure as reasons for leaving the All Progressives Congress APC to PDP.
With few months to the 2019 general election, gale of defection continues to hit political parties across the state. In Edo State, pressure mounts more on the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, losing over 3,000 members from 2 major senatorial districts in Edo State to the People's Democratic Party, PDP.
Intelligence to belong to such people. Today, we are adopting people not because we want anything personal, but we want situation whereby we want to tell the people that we have a public program that whatever you think you are, deliver your village, and I'm ready to deliver on the patrol.
Today, I have decided to follow Kulo. I am tired of what I'm seeing. All the promises, even the past and present government have given to us, all of them are fake.
Nigerians are tired of stories. A round of applause for that. 3 years, 4 years of APC, it has been blame game. Blame what? Game. PDP did that. This is why we are not performing. PDP did that. This is why we are not performing. And we said, when in 2015, I and those who believe in me, we went around, we campaigned, we sold those who said we should give them the mandate to rule over our country, and so we did. Thinking there was something new they were bringing. Little did we know that we were simply headed for a doom.
Receiving the defectors, PDP chairman in the state, Dan Ober, said their decision is a testimony of how hunger has ravaged the society, urging them to continue to work and believe in the objectives of the party.
The beauty of what we are witnessing today in Edo State is that while the PDP conducted very credible primaries, you cannot say that of the APC in Edo State. That is why on a daily basis we are getting invitations to receive members of APC who are aggrieved, who are disappointed with the style of APC in the conduct of their primaries. Yes, so for me, I would like to really commend the members of APC who have come out today, not just to identify with us, but to support PDP as we prepare for the forthcoming election.
Politicians believe that defecting from a party to another is to establish their feet where they can be relevant.
And all the independent corrupt practices and other related offences, ICPC says it will probe the allegation of corruption leveled against the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Adams Shomale, during the recently concluded party primaries. Spokesperson for the commission, Rashidat Okudwa, discussed this during a protest by some members of the APC under the aegis of Coalition for New Nigeria. The ICPC's decision to investigate Shomale came barely 1 week after he was quizzed by the Department of State Services DSS over alleged anomalies in the APC primaries. Sokoto State House of Assembly has accepted the resignation of the Deputy Governor Ahmed Aliyu. Aliyu resigned as Deputy Governor this morning. Aliyu's notification of resignation was contained in a letter to the State House of Assembly dated November 13, 2018 and presented by the Deputy Speaker Abubakar Magaji, who presided over today's plenary. Meanwhile, less than 24 hours after Ahmed's resignation, the race to succeed him has begun. Atop of the list among the nominees for the replacement are State Commissioner for Water Resources, Umaru Nature, Sagar Atahiru, Bafarawa, and Aliyu Mohammed. And in education matter, the National Examination Council, NECO, has announced that its November-December 2018 Senior Secondary Certificate Examination SCE, earlier scheduled to commence on November 15, has been postponed till November 19. Acting Registrar Abubakar Ghana, who discussed this in a statement in Abuja, said candidates are requested to download the new examination timetable on the NECO website. According to the registrar, NECO expressed regrets over any inconveniences the change might have caused candidates. Nigerians have been asked to remember God at every stage of their lives. Christians believe the fastest way to see God's intervention is through praises and worship. While Superscreen's Blessed Omonose, who participated in such atmosphere in praise and worship in Lagos, tells us more in this report.
As Nigeria prepares for yet another election, citizens, especially Christians, have intensified efforts at seeking God's intervention for peace to continue to reign in the country. At this gathering, these Christians from the Redeemed Christian Church of God, My Father House, in Okota, rendered praises to God with guest artist Mercy Chinwu leading them in the spirit of worship. The convener, Minister Sam, expressed delight at the large turnout of Christians, just as these participants shared their experience.
When you come and you worship God, you don't expect money, you don't expect wealth, you expect God. And once you can get God, every other thing comes. So we expect God tonight.
Atmosphere of worship brings an array of great talents, upcoming, upwardly mobile young guys who are doing well for themselves. So we're here to celebrate and to rejoice with them.
When you worship God, anything can happen with an open spirit. So that believers, we gather as children of God, sing unto Him and worship Him. God, by His infinite mercy, can release His blessing upon us.
We always look forward to seeing the presence of the Lord fill the house, and then people get blessed in the place of worship.
We offer a sacrifice of worship, not from our lips, not from our we enter the Holy of Holies.
As Nigerians look forward to the 2019 general elections, the need for Nigerians to seek for spiritual intervention through praises and worship to God cannot be overemphasized. And with the outcry of these worshippers, hopes are high for continuous peace in the country. Blessed Omonuse, reporting for Superscreen News.
Well, it's watching Superscreen News at 6, so we'll take a short break here. And when we return, we'll bring you news from the business world. To stay. Well, it's so glad to have you back now in Business World. The federal government has approved the bearing of arms by personnel of aviation security, AFSEC, to enhance the National Civil Aviation Security Program, NCASP. The approval has secured the support of the Aviation Roundtable on that of Table Safety Initiative, ART. A president of ART, Benga Olo, who confirmed this in Lagos, said the primary objective of AFSEC is the protection and safety of passengers, crew, ground personnel, aircraft, and facilities serving the civil aviation. He, however, noted that the participation of other security agencies in the sector for the same purposes is inevitable. The Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON, is preparing to release another list of debtors. The corporation's head of Corporate Communications Department, Jude Uwazo, who confirmed this to a newsman, said the corporation has decided to expose the debtors following their failure to meet their debt obligations after several pursuit engagements. According to him, AMCON would be forced to charge the debtors to court if they fail to repay their loans. Based on a court order, he added that it would also take over the assets of the debtors if they failed to repay their loans. The Debt Management Office, DMO, says the federal government will auction by subscription of 115 billion naira worth of bonds on November 21. In a circular about the DMO on its website, the breakdown of the figure revealed that 35 billion naira 5-year reopening bond to mature in April 2023 would be offered at 12.75%. Another 35 billion naira 7-year reopening bond to mature in March 2025 would be auctioned at 13.53%, while 45 billion naira 10-year bonds to mature in February 2028 would be auctioned at 13.98%. The DMO said the units of sale would be 1,000 per unit, subject to a minimum subscription of 50,000 and in multiples in 1,000 thereafter. And that's it in business news. We'll take another short break, after which we'll bring the news from the foreign scene and then sports. Join us again.